missed you. Welcome to Go Watch a Movie, episode 101. I'm Kelvin.
And I'm Robert.
Today, clearly, we are covering It Chapter 2. And I'm looking forward to it. But before we get into that, a little bit of entertainment news. All right. It's been a quiet week. So not too much entertainment news here. Well, we'll get into this. The folks who described the Quiet Place Part 1, John and the others, met at Lucasfilm to talk about describing the next Indiana Jones film. If they bring any of the creativity and originality that they did at the Quiet Place to this, I think we're in for a treat. Are you looking forward to another Indiana Jones, or you think they should wrap it up?
I think it's probably at the point where they should have wrapped it up, if it's not already wrapped up.
Gotcha.
And I can understand. I don't even really want to do like the whole reboot thing either.
Yeah,
I would prefer something original. If they want to put their money into something, I understand franchises make money, but I mean, I would take a risk, come out with something original. Maybe you can come out with the next big thing instead of
another recycled Chris Pratt as Indiana Jones.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying he would be but he could be something else. I mean,
yes,
yeah. He have to be Indiana Jones. He could be some other character.
Well, you think a Space Jones would be too far gone?
Jones in space?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think that was going to work for
me. Next up, 13 Ghosts has been remade again as a short film. Or will be, I should say. Screen Gems is teaming with digital horror network Crypt TV to produce a 10-minute short film based on the 1960s horror film 13 Ghosts. I enjoyed the last movie.
It wasn't horrible. I mean, it wasn't,
Wasn't Shaggy in that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
I forget that gentleman's real name, but we all know it's Shaggy. We know Shaggy.
You're right.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, this is just 10 minutes.
It doesn't seem worth it. Just 10 minutes.
Yeah. Well,
like, why even announce that? Just do it.
Do it. Post it on Facebook and YouTube. You're good. That's entertainment news today. So weak. But that will bring us to trailers.
Ooh.
You first or me, sir?
Go ahead.
Well, I'm going to go with Gretel and Hansel. Uh-oh.
It's okay. I have a backup.
Okay. New horrifying looking, because I haven't seen it, take on Hansel and Gretel. Going with Gretel and Hansel now. And I don't know, man. It just looks weird and darker, and it's not that fairy tale that we're used to. There's some shit going down. You said you saw this one?
Yeah, this was mine too. I think it looks great. It's nice and dark. I mean, it's just
the music fit perfectly in the trailer.
Everything did. Everything was just perfect. I think this is going to be a good one. I hope so. Yeah.
Your other sir.
My backup is a movie called Prey. It's you're a fan of the Blumhouse?
Yes.
So this is from them, and from what I gather, I guess you pay to go on this little adventure, and you get dropped off on an island, and you're all by yourself, and you're supposed to kind of like survive. I guess kind of like Castaway. Tom Hanks, and you're just there. And then I guess you're not so far away that you can't, reach the other people if you had to, or something went wrong or whatever. And I guess the guy who's on his little island meets a girl, and she just pops up, and she's not supposed to be there. And then so he's like hanging out with her, and then she's like, "Well, don't go over there because that's where Mother is." And he's like, "Oh, your mom's here too." And then it turns out Mom is this weird creature thing. I don't know what it is. It could be anything, and just all kinds of fun happens after that. So it's not huge looking, but I think it looks interesting enough to give it a shot.
Yeah, let's check that one out.
Yep.
All right. That was trailers. And now I guess we will get into It Chapter 2 Watchbot, if you would not mind.
Defeated by members of the Losers Club, the evil clown Pennywise returns 27 years later to terrorize the town of Derry, Maine. Once again, now adults, the childhood friends have long since gone their separate ways. But when people start disappearing, Mike Hanlon calls the others home for one final stand. Damaged by scars from the past, the united losers must conquer their deepest fears to destroy the shape-shifting Pennywise, now more powerful than ever.
Thank you, Watchbots. Oh man, where do we begin? I guess we'll start at the beginning. It Chapter 1. Were you a fan of the first one? I'm not sure if we did an episode.
I did like the first one. I thought the first one was really good. I know there's mixed feelings on that. I was talking to some people earlier, and they're like, "No, the first one sucks. The second one's better." And blah blah.
Because of the original with Tim Curry, or just in general?
I'm not sure what their reasoning, but for the new ones anyway, they preferred the second one to the first one. I prefer the first one of the remake to the second one myself, but I think the first one was great. Yes. I like how they separate. And I know I haven't read the book, so I can't really, and I don't really want to critique the storyline from the book. I just want to concentrate on the movie and if it was a successful movie or not. And I think the first one, because it's split, I know it isn't written this way, but because they split and made a whole movie with just the kids.
Yes.
Without going back and forth with the adults. I thought that was just really, I mean, not necessarily ballsy, but I think it was a good move because I think it really focused in on just that one element.
And all those kids were fantastic actors.
Yeah, and exactly. And what's, it's scarier when it's kids for some reason. I don't know what it is. There's always there's a kid in a horror movie. For some reason, I don't know if it's your adult instinct to protect something younger than you or whatever, but you just feel more when there's a kid involved in the movie. Like there's something scary and there's a kid, you're like, oh crap, get out of there. If it's an adult, you're like, you shouldn't have gone in there anyway. So it's just like a different feeling. So the first movie for me was a success.
Agreed. Agreed 100%. That one just and it was seeing him for the first time. Like this interpretation of Pennywise, I thought was just phenomenal. I think the guy did a great job, and knowing that he does that smile without CG and prosthetics is fantastic. And
it was generally creepy too. I mean, there was really, really good scary moments in it, creepy moments like waving a severed hand at somebody. I mean, there's just really good stuff in this one. The giant hit in the garage was just phenomenal.
The happy Pennywise dance.
Yeah. There's just so many good things in that movie for me that good stuff.
Well, let's move on to It Chapter 2. It's been 27 years, and Mike has got to get the band back together because they're on a mission from God.
Which is really hard because everybody has forgotten.
Yeah, but for some reason, still want to come. See, that was my first issue with this movie. I don't have a lot, but I do have. So, jumping way spoilerific. It's way spoilers, but everyone has a problem with him because they say he lied to them to get them there. Like, I wish I would have heard more of those phone calls. I'm wondering what exactly did he like? This is Mike. You have to come home. Click. Like, he didn't say this is Mike. It's happening again, which I think I heard him say in one of the calls. But they just didn't realize what was happening again, because technically he didn't lie, but they were all pretty pissed at him like he lied to them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure why they were. I don't know. It was a weird thing.
Because he did it later on. It's right out like
later on.
But that lie was like, I was like, wait, what exactly didn't he say to you? Motherfuckers, Pennywise is here. Get your
it's like,
and then my other second issue is the banter. between Eddie and Richie. Want to say Richie?
Okay. I believe,
They, as kids, fine.
Oh, you didn't like it as adults?
Perfect. As adults at the Chinese restaurant specifically, it sounded extremely forced. Like they were the back and forth were like, it was just like, oh, haha, guess what? What? I fucked your mom. Oh, fuck. And,
Richie is a comedian, even though he doesn't write his own stuff, apparently. So
Yeah.
I guess that's what they were trying to drive home, that it was funny.
but
And Bill is funny.
What's that?
Yeah, he definitely was better as kids. Definitely better as kids, but Bill is a funny guy.
He is a funny dude. Just even he walks on the screen and I giggle. Not. But yeah, that was my only other issue. Other than that, I was pretty well in. I liked. Well, there was also the fact that all these motherfuckers are successful as fuck.
Yeah, they called themselves the losers, but everybody was doing good except for Mike, who was just hanging out. I don't know if that was an attic or something.
Yeah, the attic of the library.
Yeah, he was just hanging out there. Everybody else was doing great, though. So
Like a fucking screenwriter, a high-paid comedian, some sort of architect mogul.
yeah, Ben just became super hot out of nowhere. I was just like, I think they're all doing good.
And then poor Stevie just all up and kills himself.
Yeah.
The sound of Pennywise.
Yeah. just the
Hey,
idea
Stevie,
of that.
I need you back.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's Stanley.
Stanley, yes.
Yeah.
Stanley, thank you.
As I don't know. I mean, if it's like, I don't want to know. Like I said, if it's in the book, that's the original idea. I want to not knock it so much.
My whole thing is they beat him the first time, and it's like, why is that so horrifying to go back to when you won? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Apparently, they did beat him, but I guess they really didn't.
Yeah, technically, yeah.
And he obviously, when they didn't really beat him, did something to him to make them forget. Because it wasn't just the town; it was definitely Pennywise that was doing that to him.
Exactly.
So he had some kind of a psychic hold or block or something on him. And as soon as that started to fade away, and they realized what they were really up against, that's when they started getting scared.
Yep. What are your overall thoughts of this one?
Overall thoughts, not so much. I didn't love it. I didn't love it. Only the moments that I enjoyed the most out of the movie were when they did the flashbacks to the kids, because it just reminded me of the first movie. So those were my favorite parts. But I don't think it was as creepy or as scary as the first one.
No.
I think some of the elements, I mean, and I could see if they were going with like, okay, the first one was kids, so it's going to be scarier because to kids that kind of stuff is scarier, and to adults it won't be as scary because they're adults now, right? I can understand them taking that route, but that's not really what they did. They just I feel like they toned the scary down for these, I don't know, weak element, like almost like childish, like horror scares. Like
they went for more fun. It seemed.
Yeah, it seemed like it was goofy. I mean, with the little bouncing around zombie in the basement of the medical store, and then I mean that just seemed goofy to me. It didn't seem frightening. I mean, I'm thinking this Pennywise should be scary. It shouldn't be,
because that's his whole stick. It's like he needs fear.
Fear. He doesn't feed on our laughter, even though he's dressed like a clown. That would be hilarious. But still, it just I don't know. I don't think it was as effective as the first one. Also, I have a lot of problems with this movie, actually.
Oh,
I'm going to be honest with it.
Let's hear it.
Like, I didn't really care about the adults. Like, I don't think I know they're the same characters as the kids, which I felt for, but then as adults, I feel like their lives have moved so far past when they were kids.
Way far.
That I didn't know them anymore. So I'm feeling like, who are these people? And they did set up some of them pretty well. Like Bill's character, they set up pretty well with him being a writer for a movie and people not liking the ending to his book, and they played that through the movie. Kind
of came back to bite them a bit, because a lot of people were comparing this movie to that. They're joking on themselves. The endings are shit.
Yeah, exactly. And I think Beverly's little opening was great because it shows what the hell that she's basically been going through her whole life. So I guess I felt for her. I could connect with that on some level. Even Richie's character, because he was obviously, they slowly revealed that he was hiding a secret, and then
I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool. I think like Pennywise was using that against him, stuff like that. But everybody else, like Mike's character, it's cool that he was there researching that whole time, and
he still didn't really know shit.
Yeah, but I don't know. I couldn't connect with the character. There wasn't enough to make me really feel for him. And even though I was happy Ben turned out cool, I connected more with the young Ben than I did the older Ben. I mean, some rich guy with a yacht and, has his little meetings. He sits at home,
barefoot, like a hippie.
Yeah, just having a good old time, just enjoying his success. Eddie's character is like, again, I couldn't really get into him, so I don't know.
Eddie was the insurance whatever guy.
Right? Yeah. Risk analyst thingy, whatever he
basically grew up to marry his mom and that sort of thing. And,
and I couldn't really feel for Stanley either, even though he killed himself, because it was so. I know that's the way it is in the book. I'm not knocking the story, the original story, but I'm just saying it was hard to get into if I'm just judging this as a movie, and I sit down and watch this, I'm like, okay, I don't really care about that dude killing himself. But he was in the movie for like 5 seconds and then was gone. So
we didn't even get really good backstory with him.
I assume everybody else is feeling sad that he's gone, but he's gone.
Not really. They moved on.
Yeah.
They didn't even remember him at the Chinese place at first.
Yeah. and there was the CG was some of it was good, some of it wasn't so good.
Yeah.
I did like, they did do a thing that I thought was kind of cool, where it seemed like it was, some scenes were almost like claymation, but like they added like CG on top of it or something, or vice versa. It just seemed kind of like they like bonded the two, like, so it made it look more real or tangible or something. I can't really describe it, but like the scene where he was like Bill put his arm down the drain on the street.
Oh,
and then all those little hands started grabbing them. And I thought that looked really cool, but it just, like, that wasn't really scary, though. No. That just looked more like something some kid would watch on one of these little Goosebumps shows and giggle and have fun. You know what I mean? It just wasn't, like, bam, this is scary. Like, I didn't jump.
I need a hot take button. Hot take.
I just want to.
It's Goosebumps.
I just wanted to jump a couple times, and I didn't really get that. And I don't think we got enough Pennywise.
And he's the reason I watch these movies. Maybe everyone else, other than the girls who swoon over the,
He had a couple of standout scenes that were pretty cool, like when he was talking to the girl underneath the bleachers, and like when he counted to 2, and then she said 3, and then he's like, I like that, but I wish we had more of that throughout the movie. It would have been awesome.
It was cool seeing him in daylight with the Paul Bunyan thing. I thought that was cool. That whole scene.
But was it really scary though? I mean,
it was not scary at all. It was cool. Like his stuff.
It was like a kitty Paul Bunyan chasing you around. It's like, oh, Paul Bunyan's going to get me. It's like, it was just not. I don't know. Exactly. So I don't know. But it was okay, but I just don't think this one is in any way, shape, or form better than the first one. I don't think it. I think it pays tribute to it kind of by the elements with the kids and the flashbacks. So there's continuity, and I did enjoy that part. But outside of that, like caring for the adults, caring what happened, I just wasn't grabbed by that.
I'll tell you one scene that did stand out to me and was full of tension when Bev went to the old lady's house. Apparently, Pennywise's daughter was, I don't know if that was a lie or what, but
yeah, that was just a lie.
That scene was just full of tension. I thought the every part of it being delivered was fantastic. The way they the old lady creepily watched her, and you know what they say, when you die in Deep Derby, you don't really die. Anyway, do you want to see?
All that was great. All that was great until the giant grandma with floppy boobs came running out of the room. Yeah, and then it got Kitty again, because I just looked.
Her lurking around naked in the background. I was like, oh shit.
That was creepy.
Yeah.
If it would have been better if just her naked ran out of that room and then tried to attack her. That would have been scarier than
like some large thudding feet sounds. You don't even need to be. Yeah.
But I mean, it was okay. Like I said, it feels like they flip flopped it somehow. Like those
sex titties.
Yeah.
Flip flop like those.
There's just too much flip flopping going on for me.
Whenever I hear flip flop, I'm just gonna think of those old second titties. Oh man. So I guess maybe I shouldn't ask if there were any standout scenes for you.
Yeah, like I just described one with the little girl, and then also with the boy. That was a really good scene too. Even though I think the little kid, like at the beginning,
in the funhouse.
No, yeah, like at the beginning, because he was in the restaurant at the beginning, and then Richie like kind of attacked him, and then I thought he was just a little too perfect, a little too cool, perfect little cute kid. He dressed like an adult, but like a cool like teenager instead of like a little kid, like it should be. And then that was okay. But it was cool to see like Pennywise go after him and just torture the other guy through the glass. Like I'm going to get him, and just keep beating his head over and over against the glass. Like I'm going to get him. You can't do anything about it.
Mm-hmm. And it was faster and faster.
Because that's what he should be doing. They should have more elements like that where he's causing fear by torturing those people, so that he can feed, as opposed to just being goofy and having an old lady chase you. I mean, that's not really.
And the whole trinket thing just kind of lost me, because you don't even see some of them get their trinkets. They just kind of go on this weird quest thing, It's like
those were just basically like elements for a flashback, so we can look at the kids again.
But yeah, basically.
And then I thought Bill's I was confused by some of their things, because I thought Bill's like thing was the bike.
Yeah, but
it didn't end up being the bike. It ended up being like the boat or something, whatever it was, a little paper.
The little boat he got out of the sewer.
Yeah, because I would like to have seen them trying to shove a bike in that little vase and burn it. But yeah, I don't know. Just some, and I don't want to knock the story, but there's some elements in the movie. It just didn't flow very well for me. It seemed to bounce around a lot. And I know the story is supposed to go from adult to flashback to adult, but I also feel like it just bounced from character to character kind of haphazardly, and it wasn't as enjoyable as it should have been, especially being like a 3-hour movie. Yeah. I mean, you really got to grab and hold somebody's attention. There's got to be more elements of suspense and mystery for us to really want to stay. And
you know what I found odd, and it's the very beginning of the movie. Like, he kills a middle-aged man. Mm-hmm. And that's not his MO, really.
That was like one of like the very beginning, like those guys attacking those two gay dudes was probably one of the scariest parts in the movie.
Yeah,
and that's sad to say that it wasn't Pennywise or any of the other stuff. It was just the real life stuff, like these guys attacking these two dudes just because they were gay.
Hick town, yeah.
And just legit throwing somebody off of a bridge.
They fucking murdered him, basically.
That was basically, yeah. It's like that was scary. That's real life stuff. He
fucking couldn't breathe. He was like dying, and I love the balls on him. He still is like, still talking shit.
But that's sad though. That was the scariest part for me. Like one of the scariest parts of the movie. Instead of like Floppy, running at you. Floppy, I would have fought her. I would have been like, hell no. I wouldn't have been that scared. But a bunch of guys attacking me and throwing me off a bridge. That's I don't want that to happen.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know.
And a little kid, a shit-nosed little kid was there. Get him. Get him, baby. Suck him up.
There's always some little guy doing that.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't think Pennywise should have killed him, but I guess he was going after adults this entire movie, so really.
He wasn't really getting any fear from that. He was just eating somebody.
Yeah.
So is that really what he needs to do? Is just eat people, or I thought he fed on fear?
I did too. I thought he had to scare them first, and that is what made the nerves. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe that was his way to get Michael's attention. Maybe I'm not sure.
I just would have knocked on Mike's door. Would have been enough. Like, hey, I'm here.
Just put a red balloon in front of his door. He'd get the idea.
Yep.
Like what's his face did with his knife.
Yeah, and the guy in the mental institution, I think that was kind of creepy with the dude crawling from under the bed. I guess that was halfway decent, but you saw it coming because he's freaking pulling that balloon all day.
Yeah,
you know something's about to happen, so it really wasn't a good setup because it could have just came out of nowhere. It would have been better.
And then he drove him around.
I would like to have seen more of like what was really going on there. Was he driving himself, but he was thinking he was sitting in the other seat, or was there really somebody driving him around, or what was going on?
I don't like that. Those are good questions.
I think I'm getting too deep into the story with him, but yeah.
What do you think of the defeating of Pennywise?
Nope, I didn't care for that either. It's like they just bullied him to death.
Yeah, that was my. It's like anti-bullying pretty much the entire 2 movies, and all of a sudden, let's bully this guy.
Yeah, there's other ways to make someone feel small. So let's just bully him.
All them names. Pennywise, your dick's small. Pennywise, that grandma had floppy tits.
Yeah, it just wasn't great. I don't know. I think there's
100%.
You go from these guys hating on some other dudes in the beginning of the movie, throwing them off a bridge, to let's bully somebody. To destroy the bad guy. After he killed like one of your friends, like he's laying there dead in the background, or dying in the background, and the other guy's already dead.
One of their lovers at some point.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how much in love they actually got as kids, but clearly there was something going on there. But yeah, let's all group together and squeeze his heart.
Yeah, that was a weird scene too. Yeah. But again, if that's the way it was, that's what he intended, Mr. King. And I love we're glancing over the fact that King was in the movie.
Who was he?
You didn't notice him? He was in the shop. He's the guy who sold the guy the bike.
I didn't realize he was that bony. I thought he was a chunky old man. No,
that's him. That was Stephen King. I thought that was cool that he got to be in the movie.
Some bitch, yeah.
But
well, man, I don't know. I guess we'll get down to go watch or not for you.
Well, I'll tell you what. I do feel that the elements with the kids do connect me to the first movie, which I really did enjoy.
Yeah.
So it was like getting more of that, even though it was 3 hours, I had to sit through to get little bits that connected me to the first movie. So I would say, wait for it to come out on video. But don't rush to the movies to watch this because I don't think it's excellent. But that's just me. I've looked at the review,
I just hopped on Rotten Tomatoes.
Just ranting and raving over it.
63% tomato meter, 80 audience.
Yep, so I'm definitely in the minority here, but that's okay. So I would say wait, because I don't think it's better than the first one. But if you thought the first one was crap, maybe this one is just right up your alley.
Because like I said, I enjoyed the Pennywise moments because I think he's cool, but it is a horror film. And I was not horrified. I'm going to say wait for home for it. I think, wait for home for it. It's
so for me, it's still a good watch. Just not, don't go run to the movies to see it because I don't know. I don't think it's worth it myself. And I also think they kind of overcast it. I feel like it was overcast.
Yeah, they got some big fucking names for this movie.
And they all did a fine job acting, but I felt like they were just doing what they normally do when they...
I did like how he regained his stutter when he got back to Derby?
Derby.
Yeah.
And he can't, and we know James McAvoy can act.
Yeah. Can you imagine if he fucking went the beast on Pennywise? Rejoice! For you are broken! Pennywise is like, hello? That's the movie I want to see. The Beast fucking versus Pennywise. Bring it! Sorry. Where you can find us Find us gowatchmovie.com. The Sad News Day is there. The trailers will be there. And the podcast is there. The podcast is also anywhere you can find a podcast, and I mean anywhere. Just put in Go Watch a Movie and we'll pop up there. And that is all for Go Watch a Movie this week. I'm Kelvin.
And I'm Robert.
Go watch a movie.